It's often said that true life is stranger than fiction. But when someone who's innocent gets arrested and charged with a crime, that's not just a bad day, it's a nightmare.
Imagine rotting in a jail cell for 88 days for a terrifying crime you didn't commit, while the real monsters lapped up their freedom. That was the reality for Michelle Hadley in Netflix's A Toxic Love Story, and it's shocking viewers the world over. She was branded a psycho stalker and jailed for terrorizing her ex-fiance's new bride. But then came the ultimate plot twist. Michelle was totally innocent. It was her ex, Ian Diaz, and his wife, Angela, who orchestrated the entire sinister campaign themselves. Angela later pleaded guilty, and Ian was sentenced in federal court. Case closed, right? Wrong. The documentary only scratched the surface. Buried inside court records, civil lawsuits, and chilling witness statements lies a far darker truth. I'm Katie Forrester with the US Sun. Before we pull back the curtain, hit like and subscribe for more exclusive investigations. Because what Netflix didn't show you changes everything you thought you knew about this case. Here are just 7 to get you going. Number 1, prosecutors said the lies started long before Michelle was accused. In the documentary, one of Angela's ex-boyfriends drops a chilling bombshell. She lied about having stage 4 cancer. But according to court records, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Prosecutors revealed this wasn't an isolated incident. It was a calculated lifestyle. For years, she fabricated significant parts of her education, employment history, and personal background. When that wasn't enough, she manufactured numerous personal tragedies, fake terminal illnesses, and more than one pregnancy. Why? To ruthlessly manipulate everyone around her for money, expensive gifts, and unearned sympathy. What happened to Michelle wasn't a one-off, they argued. It was a terrifying peak of a long-term pattern of deception. Number 2, the sordid sex tape allegation. One of the most disturbing claims about Ian Diaz never even made it into the criminal trial. It was buried inside a civil lawsuit.
There were mornings when I would wake up and I would think, okay, I'm gonna wake up a second time. This is just a nightmare. And it wasn't.
What started as a simple property dispute over their condo morphed into a nightmare. Michelle alleged Ian pressured her to participate in his sexual fantasy of watching her have sex with another man. The shocking encounter allegedly happened on Valentine's Day 2014. Michelle claimed that while she was sick and heavily medicated, Ian invited a stranger off Craigslist into their home, gave her alcohol, and secretly set up hidden cameras in the bedroom. She later begged him to destroy the footage, but he allegedly refused, telling her nobody put a gun to your head. Ian has denied all wrongdoing. Because these claims were made in civil filings, no criminal charges were ever brought, and the lawsuit was quietly settled before reaching trial. But it paints a harrowing picture of what was really happening behind closed doors. 3, the curious case of the condo. The documentary glossed over the Anaheim condo, but prosecutors believed money, not just malice, was the real motive for the conspiracy. In 2015, Ian and Michelle bought a $460,000 condo together, with Michelle putting down a down payment of $14,000 of her own money. When they broke up, she moved out, but her name stayed locked on that massive mortgage. The pair later reached an agreement that Ian would pay Michelle $3,000 a month and assume the mortgage by June 5, 2016, allowing her to walk away from the loan. But then came the turning point. Ian's mortgage application was officially denied, and Michelle was still legally tied to the loan, holding half the financial liability. Just weeks later, the nightmare began. Federal prosecutors argued Ian and Angela launched their sinister campaign to frame Michelle, throw her in jail, and pressure her into giving up her rights to the property once and for all. A fourth omission centers on Ian's alleged influence over Michelle's career. In a 2019 interview with BuzzFeed News, Michelle revealed that Ian's controlling behavior began long before the cyberstalking trap was ever set. She claimed Ian pressured her to abandon a successful marketing job for a role at Disneyland, where he used to work. The move forced her to take a massive $20,000 pay cut, stripping away her financial independence. But according to Michelle, the money was only half the story. She believed the new job was a trap designed to keep her monitored, allowing Ian's former co-workers to keep a constant eye on her every move. It wasn't just a career change, it was a calculated effort to erode her independence, track her movements, and keep her trapped under his thumb.
It needs to be made clear in the media and in cyberspace. Ms. Hadley is an innocent victim of a diabolical scheme.
Number 5, the botched police investigation. Michelle always insisted she had been framed, yet she spent months behind bars before prosecutors dropped every charge. After her release, she sued the city of Anaheim and members of the Anaheim Police Department, asking for more than $25,000 in damages. She alleged investigators ignored evidence that could have cleared her and failed to properly investigate whether somebody else was responsible. The city denied wrongdoing and argued officers had probable cause based on the information available at the time. Officials never publicly apologized or admitted mistakes. The lawsuit was settled in 2021 for an undisclosed amount, without any admission of liability. Sources have told TMZ this week that she settled for around $1.8 million. Producers didn't reveal anything about Ian's life behind bars, and that is number 6. While Angela pleaded guilty, Ian chose to fight the charges. In 2023, a federal jury convicted the former deputy US Marshal of conspiracy to commit cyberstalking, perjury, and obstruction of justice. He was sentenced to more than 10 years in federal prison. Today, Ian is serving that sentence at the Federal Medical Center in Fort Worth, Texas. The prison has housed several high-profile inmates over the years, including Tiger King star Joe Exotic. It's a remarkable fall for a man who once worked in law enforcement, investigating crimes himself. And number 7, little was said about Angela's life after prison. After pleading guilty to multiple felonies, Angela was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but she was released in 2020 after serving just 3. Today, she goes by Angie Connell, using her maiden name, and has built a very different life for herself in Arizona. She re-emerged as a mental health advocate and director of peer counseling for a non-profit. She earned a master's degree and is now pursuing a doctorate in psychology with plans to become a licensed psychologist. In a 2025 interview, she went even further, claiming she was actually wrongfully convicted and that prison transformed her life. The cold hard truth? No court has ever overturned her conviction. A guilty plea remains fully on the official record. She didn't just move on from her crimes, she tried to completely rewrite history. A toxic love story exposed one of the strangest criminal cases Netflix has ever featured. What do you think was the most shocking detail left out of the documentary? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more from the US Sun.